Warning: Tsukihime is an adult visual novel with themes and depictions of sex, sexual violence, gore, and abuse. Warnings will be placed before any of these pop up in the video. Just be advised that these themes are in this story. Welcome back to Tsukihime. Last time, Shiki's relationship with both Arcuid and Ciel broke, with Arcuid leaving due to Shiki protecting Ciel, and Ciel leaving after showing him that she was not human. After walking home in the shock of it all, he fell asleep with a massive headache. We now start Chapter 8, Death. We return to a dream, a familiar one, a hot midsummer's day. The sounds of cicadas, the crying of a kiha, and a child at Shiki's feet, accented with blood. However, the dream then shifts away from here, somewhere unfamiliar. A grassy plain hidden from the sun, raised only by the moonlight, proud white flowers. Under the transparent moon, a lone woman of pure white. Not even knowing words, not even aware of herself, only treated as a method of killing. The white woman, stained in fresh blood, is completely free of injury. The crimson saturating her dress is only the blood of her enemies. The only time she is allowed is this brief moment of time after her blood-stained homecomings. What waits for her after that is only a sleep she cannot wake from herself. The white girl does not even know her fate, and just looks up with distant eyes at the moon. I thought I saw eternity there. Is it an illusion? It probably is, but I don't care. The fact that her figure has eternally seared into my memory is truly... Shiki wakes up from this dream with a feeling of nostalgia. He realizes he made it home last night, though the memory of it is a bit blank. He then starts thinking about Ciel and last night's revelations.
Senpai. I can't forget her face. Why didn't I say anything back then? I was still attracted to Arcuid even though I knew she was a vampire. So even if Senpai was a vampire, I shouldn't have been that surprised. I should have laughed. If I had laughed like it was a joke, she probably would have laughed with me like always. No, I really wanted her to stay as Senpai. The uneventful but peaceful and fun time I spent with Senpai at school was very precious. Damn. But that's all over. She will never come to school as Senpai ever again. What should I do? I don't know. I wanted to search for the vampire's lair and kill him, but I can't even look for him myself. I've cut my ties with Arcuid, and me and Senpai are fighting right now. No, I won't be able to see Senpai ever again.
It's after 8 a.m., but it's a school holiday, so Shiki doesn't have to go to school. He notices Hisui wasn't in his room when he woke up, but a slight headache takes his attention away from that. After it clears, Shiki decides he'll go to Ciel's apartment to try and see her, but first he'll eat some breakfast.
Hisui is in the lobby doing something. She must be doing some redesigning because she's carrying a chair. Hisui. As if suddenly realizing I'm here, she walks quickly towards me with her usual soft footsteps. Good morning, Shiki-sama. Yes, good morning. Sorry for selfishly waking up whenever. I'm sorry for not being there when you woke up. Please forgive me. Hisui silently bows her head. After going out last night and not even remembering how I came back to my room, being apologized to like this makes me feel like a horrible person. There's no need to apologize. I just woke up whenever I wanted to. It's okay if you want to complain. Like now, unless she's strict on me, my spirit might waver a bit. Shiki-sama? It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I want to eat some breakfast. Is it already made? Nissan is outside. If you want to eat breakfast, it is already prepared in the dining room. Oh, I'll go eat then. Sorry for interrupting your work. After saying I'd see you later, I head towards the dining room.
After breakfast, Shiki makes his way to his room, but before that, he bumps his foot into the chair Hisui was moving earlier. Though it stings a bit, he initially blames himself for not noticing it. However, after this thought, he starts getting more and more angry at the situation. From Hisui leaving the chair in the hall to the pain from running into it, and also the desire to quickly make his way to Ciel's place brings Shiki's mind into a spiral of rage. This rage culminates in him kicking the chair. This naturally hurts his foot more, and that only makes him angrier, so he attacks it again, his mind solely fixated on the chair to an insane degree.
Just keep saying it and saying it and saying it and saying it. Jesus, they're all individual clicks. Oh my god, this man really hates this chair. Is he just continuously banging it with his hand or with his foot? Hurting more and more and more? Oh my god, is this gonna cover the entire screen? Oh dear god, I'm glad I stopped saying it. Shiki-sama! Huh? Sui! Why are you rushing here all of a sudden? I say that, truly surprised. I'm breathing heavily. My chest heaves up and down. I feel like I just ran a marathon. Huh? Why am I so out of breath? I gasp hungrily for air. Oh, shit. Shiki-sama, what are you saying? Why are you looking at me like that? Did something happen? Shiki-sama, are you saying you do not know what you were doing? What I was doing? But I really wasn't doing anything. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Gah! My headache returns. I shake my head to get rid of it and suddenly realize what lies at my feet. What lies there are the shattered remnants of the chair. Ah! Thump. My heart pounds harder. I did this? Yes. That is the result of you holding the chair and smashing against the floor many times. Damn, she was just watching from the side like, what the fuck? What? Why? Why did I do that? I did think that my toe hurt from running into the chair, but why did I go that far? Why did I get angry over something like that and break it like a kid having a tantrum? Shiki-sama, are you feeling well? If you are sick, I can call a doctor. No, it's nothing. It's really nothing. Sorry, Hisui, I just felt strange. I stepped back from her. I stepped back from the piece of the chair I just destroyed. Shiki-sama, please calm down. Breathing like that is not good for your body. I'm fine. Leave me alone. I want to be alone. Just let me be. I shout that out and run up the stairs. I passively note that I seem to be running away from her.
Returning to his room, the pain is still focused in Shiki's mind. He is able to at least process this mental fixation, and he tries to calm himself down to break out of it. Though he wants to see Ciel right away, he knows that he can't see her like this. Though he hopes the quietness of his room should help, he starts listening to the ticking of the clock, which becomes the current subject of his ire.
I told you to be quiet. It stopped. With a crash, the clock stops. It's quiet. Yeah, that's better. Now I can go see Senpai.
Leaving the mansion doors, Shiki takes in his surroundings. He hears a noise from the garden and ponders who it could be. Akiha's at school, Kohaku was working outside, and Hisui was picking up the chair pieces in the lobby. Deciding to investigate, he goes to the garden. He remembers it as being where he mostly played when he was younger, but he hadn't actually walked through it since coming back. Hearing someone leaving, he follows the sound.
It seems like someone just walked through. Uh-oh. Oh. Huh? Hisui? It's Hisui. It seems she doesn't notice me, as Hisui is making her way towards the woods. She doesn't seem to notice me. Does she have something to do? She enters the forest. Huh? A bit curious, I follow her from a slight distance. And where Hisui headed to, there seems to be a small clearing.
Shiki is confused at this opening in the forest, something otherwise unnoticeable without Hisui as a guide. He assumes he played with Akiha there as a kid, but can't bring forth any memories. With only a slight nostalgic feeling, he moves into the clearing. It's an empty space, devoid of anything of note. He's lost Hisui, and is now all alone. A familiar dream then strikes him, the one from both Chapter 3 and his earlier sleep today, the hot midsummer day. A sharp pain brings his chest great discomfort, though he has not been attacked externally, but he is hit with the continuation of that day. Though the dream cicadas chirp away in the blistering summer day, Shiki's still somewhat present. The confusion of the change in seasons and the pain in his chest has brought back his anger, but also some self-reflection, and a slight altering of that initial dream.
I'm getting angry again. I finally calmed down earlier, but I'm feeling annoyed again. I have to meet Senpai. I have to hurry up and meet her and tell her I wouldn't care even if she was a vampire. But what is the truth? Could I honestly say I could smile like I did before with her even if she's a vampire? Someone's crouched silhouette, the approaching footsteps of a young girl, the columns of clouds in the far sky, the discarded shells of cicadas. When I realize that there is my body pierced through the chest and killed, and looking down at my corpse in surprise is my figure as well. My chest hurts. I feel like vomiting. My wound is healed a long time ago, but why does it hurt so much? My chest is broken. The old wound opens. Blood flows forth from the opening. What is this? My wound, it hasn't healed at all. It hurts. I'm scared. I'm assailed with dizziness. This is the impulse called death. My consciousness sinks. My wound hurts. I hear the sound of my own body collapsing on the ground. I can hear voices talking. Akiha-sama, are you not going to call for a doctor? Don't be stupid, Isui. There's no way I could do that, since Nissan's wound isn't normal. Akiha and Isui are talking. This is Shiki's room. It looks like I am sleeping on the bed. I plan to say, yo, and get out of bed, but I can't move at all. My chest doesn't hurt anymore, but my body is as heavy as lead. All I can move are my eyes and mouth.
Akiha is very angry with Hisui. Apparently, Shiki was never supposed to be allowed in that clearing. Hisui tries to apologize, but this matter must be of grave importance to Akiha, as she does not accept it, and demands to know what she was doing and where she was during the day. Hisui says nothing during this. She just silently looks down and takes in the verbal assault. But this silence only makes Akiha angrier, and even Shiki can tell that she's preparing to hit Hisui. Though Hisui herself refuses to move, Shiki tries his best to get Akiha to stop.
Even I understand that Akiha intends to hit her. Isui seems to know this as well, but she just stands with her head hung in shame, ready to receive it. Hold on, Akiha. Nissan, you're awake. Yeah, you were so loud I woke up. Akiha looks away uncomfortably. Hisui still looks down, not even trying to look at me. You know, you shouldn't let it out on Hisui. I don't know the circumstances, but this has to do with me collapsing, right? It's not her fault. I just collapsed on my own. I strained hard and somehow managed to lift the upper half of my body up the bed. But that's all I can manage, and I don't think I can even move an inch more. But since Hisui is depressed, I have to force myself to act as fine as possible. Honestly, getting in a fight over me. Even if you look like an adult, you're still a child. But you completely fainted, Nissan. You were out for more than 10 hours, and nothing like this has happened before. If you never woke up, what would I have done? Idiot, don't say things like that. Wasn't this just anemia? Huh? It's 10 o'clock already. Yes, you've been unconscious since noon. Akiha speaks hesitantly. All the strength drains from my body. I must have slept that long since then. I wasn't able to go to Senpai's apartment and just slept the time away. Man, I haven't passed out this long since elementary school. Oh yeah, I did pass out often back then. Since I wasn't used to living at the Arimas, I was stressed out. Everything is still woozy like I'm still dreaming. Blanking out, I stare at the ceiling as I remember some of my past. That is true. There's only been a week since you came back here. Nissan, you must be exhausted. Yeah, I felt that today. Didn't you? So please, just rest today. Your health is weaker than most people's, so your body gets tired unless you take a day off sometimes. She looks at me with a serious expression. Just like she says, I should just forget everything. I shouldn't think about senpai or vampires, just rest. I'll really tire out. Going on a rampage like that and smashing that chair, there must be something wrong with me. Yeah, like you say, I'll just go to sleep. I lie back down. Really? You're not going to sneak out of the room later? What, you don't trust me? I guess not. Because the past few days I've been ignoring her and leaving.
Akiha asks if Shiki would like dinner, and he declines it. Though the bed is pulling him back to sleep, Shiki has two questions he needs to ask Akiha. First, That clearing, it's always been there. Akiha confirms that they used to play there as kids, though Shiki doesn't remember it. He then asks a second question. Was there another child that played with the two of them?
It's a weird question, but when we were kids, wasn't there another kid with us? Huh? She tilts her head like she doesn't understand what I'm saying. I guess so. There couldn't have been another kid. That was just a dream. That clearing. Myself as a child, killed by someone who looked like me. There's something wrong with that. If that's true, what am I doing right here now? No, it's nothing. Just talking about a dream. Is that so? Then good night, Nissan. Please, rest well. Yeah, I will. The instant I answer her, I fall asleep almost as if I just passed out again.
With that, Chapter 8 comes to a close. Though Shiki did not die, the clearing had a very negative effect on him, and it's clear that his time at the mansion was more hidden than he first thought. However, with his return to sleep, we move towards the next day, and the next chapter. Chapter 9, Cast Off Cicada Shell.
I'm in a dark place. 8 years since I woke up. I've been holding my breath in darkness the whole time. I don't even know why. That has long since been worn away. Here, there is only darkness, but I know there is something I have to do. I don't know why I live, but I know my purpose. The chains which held me are all gone. There is nothing holding me back. All that's left is killing you.
Shiki wakes up to the sound of chirping birds and a slight breeze. He feels much better than yesterday, until he's hit with sudden sickness and the need to vomit, which he assumes is his anemia. Hisui comes into the room and greets him, and Shiki tells her in a rude voice that he'll be down for breakfast and to leave. She looks worryingly as she does so. Shiki is then angry at himself, as he knows that feeling sick isn't an excuse to be rude to Hisui. Looking ahead to today, he's conflicted. He still feels sick, but he still wants to go to school to try to see Ciel, even if their relationship is different now. For now, he leaves his room and heads to the sitting room for breakfast.
Oh, Nissan. Good morning. As soon as I enter the sitting room, Akiha greets me hollowly. Yeah, morning. You're up early, Akiha. I am always up this early, but Ni-san? Are you alright? Your face still looks pale. If you do not feel well, you can stay home. No, I'm fine. I'm better, so you don't have to worry. I answer her quickly and pass right by. I head to the dining room since I'll probably collapse if I don't eat. See ya. Isn't it about time for school? Yes, then I will be going now. Speaking hesitantly, she stands up quietly. Akiha exits the sitting room. After watching her go out of the corner of my eye, I enter the dining room. Damn, everybody is worried.
Shiki slowly trudges down to school and arrives at 7:40. There are many students arriving at this time, but Ciel is not one of them. We then get a choice on where to wait for her, either at the gate, in Shiki's classroom, or behind the school. Confused at having the last option, I select it. Shiki reasons that she may not come through the front gate if she doesn't want to see him, so she would use the back gate instead, so Shiki heads over there. However, even as the school bell rings, she is nowhere to be seen. Accepting she didn't come to school, he heads to homeroom. He takes his seat and starts chatting with Arihiko. He too can tell Shiki looks really worn out, or at least down in the dumps. With his body's fatigue since parting with Ciel, and still not being able to see her, he's all around not having a good time. Shiki then asks if Arihiko has seen Ciel today, in hopes that maybe he just missed her.
Arihiko, did you see Senpai today? Huh? Senpai? Which Senpai? Which? The only Senpai we both know. It's Ciel Senpai. Ciel Senpai? Who's that? Are there any foreign students at our school? My mouth hangs open in amazement. Arihiko, you... I managed to stammer this out in my confusion, but nothing else comes out. You okay, Tohno? Just spit it out. As long as it's not asking for money, I'll help you out. Arihiko is acting like he always does. Just like always, he completely does not remember Senpai. No, it's nothing. Sit down, class will start. Oh, it's time. Well, later. Arihiko goes back to his own seat and the teacher arrives. Homeroom starts, followed by physics, the first period class. I watch it like a movie on a screen. Senpai really disappeared. Not just from my sight, but the person known as Ciel Senpai is gone completely without a trace. Arihiko doesn't remember her. I'm sure no one else does either. That farewell, this is what it meant. The movie in front of me continues playing, showing a teacher using a white chalk on a blackboard. Nothing seems real anymore. Once classes are over and break time begins, that person will never come out again. Ever. During lunch, we will never sit in the tea ceremony room and spend the time aimlessly over lunch. Somewhere, I had a thread of hope, but that is gone as well. I've lost Ciel completely. I still haven't done anything. I haven't told her anything. We spent time eating lunch together on a nice day such as today. That was a distant, precious dream.
Before he knows it, it's lunchtime. Given a choice to get lunch or just space out in the classroom, I opt to get lunch to avoid what Shiki has already done for most of the school day. Reasoning that he should really eat as he still feels awfully sick, Shiki makes his way to the cafeteria.
The big rush must be over because there isn't a line. The tables are mostly full of students already eating. I glance around to see if there are any seats left, and then... What? Huh? I see someone who looks like Senpai. I laugh out loud. Mistaking someone for Ciel Senpai just because there's a small resemblance. I truly am beat. I know I'm beat, but I can't take my eyes away from this person that looks like her. This person that looks like her sits at the table slurping up udon. It's curry udon, too. Even her food resembles what Senpai would eat. Actually, it is Senpai. Senpai! I dash with all my strength towards Senpai. Senpai looks up at me, then glances away quickly. She's clearly avoiding me, but that doesn't matter. Senpai, why are you here? I blurted that out because I can't even think of anything else to say. Why am I here? I'm a student here, you know. If I don't eat during lunchtime, I'll collapse. No, that's not what I mean, but... I don't know what to say. My brain just stopped functioning. She looks away from me as if she wants to complain. I thought it was strange for you to be here. Just yesterday you said farewell, so I thought I'd never see you again. Yes, because it was getting late. Students should go back home at that time, yes? Simply. With such a straight face, she says this outrageous punchline. What? Or, Tohno-kun, are you saying people like me shouldn't come to school? Her eyes, that were so devoid of emotion yesterday, looked directly into mine. A student like me? That's what she said. I don't know if she's really a vampire or not, but she healed from that fatal wound quickly, so she has to be something more than human, like Arcuid. You just can't say that's human. But still, to me, she is a very dear person. I still don't know exactly what kind of feelings I have for her, but with just half a day, it was only half a day, but just thinking she wasn't in my world anymore made me feel that like reality was nothing I should care for. So for me, she is someone I can't lose. Senpai, I'd be lying if I said all of it, but I don't care. Even if she is the same as Arcuid, Senpai is still Senpai. That is an absolute truth I believe in. Yes, I should say those words I couldn't say last night. However, before that... Fine. I cannot help it if you hate me, Tohno-kun. But this is my daily life, so no matter what you say, I decided to do as I pleased. She speaks directly. You don't have any complaints, right? Senpai says and stares at me. Huh? No, of course, no complaints here. I feel like such an idiot for worrying about it so much. The strength drains from my body. But more than that, I can't help but feel really happy. Yeah, of course I don't have any complaints. Because up until now, I was ignoring all your warnings and doing as I pleased too, Senpai. That is acceptable. Then let's shake hands. She sticks out her hand. I don't know what she's thinking, but I take her outstretched hand. Senpai shakes it up and down. Yes, then this is a sign that we have made peace. Let's stay this way, okay, Tohno-kun? Tuna-kun? I don't know why I said that so weirdly. She flashes a full, truly happy smile.
With this, she puts away her tray, and as she finishes her lunch, leaves. Shiki is still really happy to have her back at school and that they are still friends, but he wonders about the situation with Arcuid and the vampire in the city. Is that something Shiki can just let go of? Two options are given. I guess so, or no, it does matter. This is not something up for debate. It still very much matters. With this in mind, Shiki rushes to follow Ciel. Meeting up in the courtyard, she questions what he's doing before classes start, but he turns that question on her as well.
Idiot, the same goes for you. Why are you out here in the courtyard? I see. She's only pretending to be a student, so she doesn't really need to go to class. That's right. I will be late to 5th period, too. I thought I would skip the rest of class, but maybe I should seriously attend class after all. Senpai smiles happily. Senpai? Don't tell me, you've been taking classes? Of course I was! I wouldn't be dressed like this if I wasn't. She seems very quite angry. Hey, what's so funny, Tohno-kun? No, it's just, I'm so happy and so angry. I knew that you were Ciel Senpai after all. I really am happy. Huh? I am me, but why would that make you laugh, Tohno-kun? It's nothing. More importantly, Senpai, about, Arcuid. Uh-oh. Ugh. In a flash, Senpai looks up at me with emotionless eyes. It's hard to speak. But this is why I came after her. Please listen to me without getting angry. You told me to stop, but I just can't leave this vampire thing alone. Uh-oh. Oh, she's got those, like, cat eye glares. Her emotionless eyes seem to become tinged with anger. Anyways, I can't just ignore this vampire. But I kinda broke up with Arcuid because of yesterday, and I can't do anything without help. So, if you're looking for this vampire, can I help you? Senpai is quiet. She takes a deep breath. I refuse. And says so with a smile. You refuse? Why? Of course I would. Tohno-kun, don't you remember almost being killed by her? Vampire hunting means being in a continual danger of death. I will not let you be involved in such a dangerous thing, Tohno-kun. I know, but I'm saying I'm prepared for that. I may not look like it, but I've experienced many near-death situations. I can at least protect myself. Tohno-kun, how can you say that? I will admit that you have very good athletic abilities. Even though you have a weak constitution, your body itself is excellent. Slumping her shoulders, Senpai says something very surprising. Really? The tension seems to disappear, and I blurt that out in response. Yes, Tohno-kun, you got naked when you spent the night at my house. I saw you then. Not flabbiness, but tight muscles. You were far away, but I thought but I thought your body was very well formed. Naked? But I didn't get naked. Did you forget? Tohno-kun, did you not change before you entered the bath? Ah, that's right. Certainly, I did take off my clothes and had her wash them for me. Senpai, I didn't know you were someone who likes to peek at people who are changing. Oh my god. This fucking face. This is a good face. No, that was just an accident. I, happened to see it and was a little curious and thought maybe it would be alright. Her face turns a deep red as she stammers her excuses. I guess she's remembering what she saw that time. Jeez, look. No matter how good your body is, Tohno-kun, ordinary people cannot stand up against a vampire. Oh, that's why she doesn't want me to fight. I see. Then it's no problem. I take off my glasses. Oh, is he... I take out my knife. Oh. My headache starts to flare up. Resisting that, I cut an appropriate line on a nearby tree. Yeah, fuck trees. Tohno-kun, that's how it is. Sorry, but my eyes aren't normal. Arcuid told me I can see the death of things, and they're called something like the mystic eyes of death perception. Her eyes widen as she takes it all in. I see. So this isn't the knife that's special, but it's you, Tohno-kun. Not special. It's just a side effect of an accident I had. That's why she was so interested in you. Your eyes have too much power for an individual to have. She suddenly seems drained of all energy. Certainly, with that kind of power, it is more dangerous to leave you alone, Tohno-kun. And even if I did refuse, you would probably search for the vampire yourself anyway. And he couldn't afford to ignore you. Senpai? You mean... Yes, I do not want you to be involved, but it's too late. I cannot deny that you have any connection to this any longer. So if it's okay if we go after the vampire together. Yes, I'm prepared to do that. Senpai extends a hand, but I can feel it's different than when we shook hands in the cafeteria. Of course, I take her hand. Our hands meet briefly, and the handshake is over. GG, shake my hand. This makes us a team now. I'm counting on you, Tohno-kun, so please, count on me. From now on, the two of us will hunt down this vampire in this city. She speaks with a gentle smile. As I nod wordlessly, the chime sounds, signaling the end of lunchtime. After class, please come to the tea ceremony room. We can talk more then. Senpai runs toward the school building. I'm late too, so I run as well.
We skip to the end of the school day, and Shiki immediately heads for the tea ceremony room. He is happy to be able to help Ciel, but also just to still be around her. At the door, he takes a breath and then enters, but what meets him isn't Ciel.
There isn't anyone here. It seems like she hasn't come here yet. I think I got a little too excited. Sitting down on the tatami mat, I catch my breath. My body doesn't cool off that easily. I painfully gasp for air. My body is drenched in sweat, and I feel terrible. My gasping fills the air. There's something weird. I've been resting for a while, but my breath is getting worse. Or my breathing. In the first place, why is my body tired after only running this little distance? Uh-oh. Gah! Suddenly, pain fills my chest. Uh-oh. Ah! My body falls with a crash. My entire body is convulsing. It hurts. My chest is burning. My mind is drifting away. My fingers claw at the tatami mats in pain. I pull and rip up the mats, but it doesn't stop the pain. Pain. Such pain is frightening. I can't bear it. If it lasts another second, then it would be better just to die. Fine, I'll grant you your wish, Shiki. I lift my head off the floor. Before that, my pain disappears. I don't feel any pain anywhere. I don't even feel heavy. I don't even feel alive. I try to say something, but my throat doesn't move. There's nothing. No pain, no sensation, not even freedom. I don't know what's going on, so I try to get up. My body doesn't even twitch. It's not that I'm tied down, or is that my entire body is numb. If I have to give a metaphor, it's like my body is already dead, but my mind is mistakenly still lingering in my body. Of my 5 senses, only my sight is still alive. The room is dark. It is already night outside. I can't move my face, so I move my eyes. Something. I hear something nearby, but I can't really hear anything. It seems something is wrong with my ears since I can't even hear my own breathing. I feel like I can dimly hear a pained voice calling my name. Oh, I thought you had completely disappeared, but you're awfully persistent, Shiki. I can hear a voice I shouldn't be able to hear. I glance around the dark as best as I can. There. I see something I don't know about. Oh, hello. Who is that? I've never seen him. But I feel like I've known him for a long, long time ago. What's this? How mean of you, Shiki. You've been looking for me so long, and when I come out, you don't remember me. With an amused laugh, he stares at me with bloodshot eyes. My mind, the only thing that still works, freezes. He didn't say it yet, but I know he is a vampire. That he is the serpent Senpai and Arquid are looking for. No, that's wrong. Certainly, I am the vampire known as the Serpent of Akasha. But to you, I'm not the serpent, but rather Shiki, right? Man, how cold of you. You make me look stupid for thinking about you all these 8 years. Hey, don't you feel the same way about Ciel? He says that while looking at me. Senpai. Is Senpai here? But where? I can't see her, nor do I sense her presence. If she is here, then why isn't she doing anything about him? In front of me, Right now, our enemy is in front of me. You shouldn't ask Ciel something she can't do that much about. Right now, she isn't in a condition to really show herself in front of others. Well, in the first place, I don't think you can really see anything right now. Another sound. Something. I can hear the sound of something tenaciously, almost madly clawing the tatami mats.
The serpent tries to keep Shiki's attention on him, but Shiki hears another sharp sound and a gasp. Someone calling his name? The serpent continues talking, and we get quite a bit of information. Shiki's inability to remember the serpent, or at least this reincarnation of him, is either due to his near-death experience 8 years ago, or hypnosis from his father, Makihisa. The serpent says Shiki killed him 8 years ago, and ever since he's been wanting revenge, but Shiki's inability to remember it has him angry. He also reveals that he was there at the mansion with Shiki and Akiha, the third child who played with them in the garden. But after that day, the serpent was locked away somewhere by Makihisa, but he was not isolated despite this. Also, warning for gore, blood, and torture, as it'll be relevant moving forward.
Jeez, was I the only one in pain? That's terrible, Shiki. I was always locked away by the old man, but I could always sense you. Because I was using your life. Even though we're not connected by blood, we're connected by our souls. That's why I wanted you to have a terribly gruesome end. How unfortunate, he says. That sound again. The sound of someone clawing at the tatami mats. What an annoying woman. I stole this life. This was mine since 8 years ago. You think I could just give it back to Shiki? In the first place, I would die without it. Ciel, are you telling me to die? How cruel. Just be quiet and stay dead right there. Another piercing sound. The clawing noise stops. Where were we? Ah, that's right. We were talking about how deep our bonds were. What I wanted to say is this, Shiki. I am your brother. But you and Akiha seem to have heartlessly forgotten that. My Tohno Shiki's brother? Well, I'll keep it at that. Shiki, you've heard from Ciel about me, right? A reincarnating soul. A vampire that returns to life after it dies. His eyes narrow. His mood turns different from before. His soft, almost human personality starts to disappear. This is my 18th reincarnation. You know about my requirements for the reincarnating of my body, right? A family that carries power within its blood and has influence in society. There's no need to say what fits those requirements. During the 17th time, my previous self chose the Tohno bloodline. Choosing the Far East was just a whim. Maybe I just wanted a change of scenery from my previous reincarnations. I was killed by the princess and my 18th self was reborn as Tohno Shiki. I had no complaints about his body. His intelligence and development advanced rapidly, and the weather in this country was comfortable. But that was as far as it went. The serpent, well, Roa made a mistake in that the power of the Tohno bloodline was too great. Akiha and I were only half human after all. The other half is as much a monster as Roa, which those of the Tohno line must resist throughout their lives. But some people are weak, which stops them from resisting. It is the duty of the head of the Tohno household to kill those who succumb to this inversion and are no longer human, but... To sum it up, I lost. Normally, Roa wouldn't awaken until I became an adult. But since you and I are connected, you can understand, right, Shiki? Two wills cannot exist in one body. It is possible if the other personality stems from a person's will, but a completely different will cannot enter. What happens when it can't? Simple. The vessel, the brain, cries out. Headaches occur. Suddenly, without reason, without meaning. Headaches. Don't tell me. That's right. Your headaches have flowed from me to you. Didn't I say so earlier? I'm using your life. We are two people using the same life. So, if I can move like this, then you end up as immobile as a corpse. What kills a will is another will. My will to live is stronger than yours. Well, but you are still amazing. I'm using your strength to kill you, but that's strange. Why are you still alive? As he tilts his head, he really does look perplexed. I'm the one who wants to tilt my head unquestioningly. Why is he using my life? Why is he using my life? And what in the world is he? My mind is brimming with questions. It seems you still don't understand, Shiki. I told you, the only thing that can kill a will is another will. In other words, killing the will does not kill the body. The Roa inside of me was another will besides my own. 8 years ago that summer day, Roa killed the will of Tohno Shiki. Like I said, I'm Tohno Shiki, right? Yeah, you are Tohno Shiki, a true imposter who became the eldest son of the Tohno household in place of me, who succumbed to inversion.
Roa talks more on the day he took over 8 years ago. Roa defeated the will of his reincarnation and took over. However, the Tohno family is unique, as at a certain point, their bodies will awaken to some sort of power, with this event called an inversion impulse. This inversion overtook Roa, and his eyes were glazed a blood red, filling him with great rage and violence. Though his prior self may have been jealous of Akiha and Shiki's relationship, this inversion dialed it up to a fatal degree, where on that day the new Roa pierced young Shiki's chest. Though he revels in his recollection, he explains that though he tried to eventually reach Shiki's heart, he was unable to do it in time. Makihisa Tohno got word and supposedly killed him there. This vivid picture finally completes in Shiki's head, and with this acknowledgement, Roa continues to reveal more.
Yes, you finally remember, Shiki. That's right, I'm the one who killed you. But you lived through it, and took over my place as Tohno Shiki. My old man, that bastard, he locked me away like trash in an underground cell after killing me. Because he couldn't have known that his eldest son was dead. He took you, his adopted son, and replaced me. I was adopted? It's a weird way to find that out. Yeah, the old man used you after your miraculous recovery. Fortunately for him, we were kids. We didn't doubt the fact that we were actual brothers, and you were pretty screwed up from that incident. My old man deceived you and Akiha with a simple lie, and made you forget about me, the true Tohno Shiki. No one was there after that accident. Why was I all alone like that? In other words, that means... Yeah, it's because no one needed you. Well, in order to protect the image of this family, you were treated as Tohno Shiki. Yeah, but I did need you. Because thanks to stealing your life, I was able to survive when my old man killed me. For that, and only that, I thank you, Shiki. I don't understand. So why? Why am I still alive, then? Who knows? I'd like to know that myself, but it really doesn't matter. Because you're going to die here anyway. Saying that, Roa stands up, slowly. Your painful death was the goal of this body, of Tohno Shiki. I've gone along with that this long, but it's time to lower the curtain. Even for me, to have 2 bodies with 1 life is not very efficient.
Roa approaches, and though Shiki knows he needs to act, his body is completely lifeless. With these revelations and the inability to move, Shiki is resigned to his fate. However, he hears someone calling for him, and it snaps him out of his quiet acceptance.
Tohno-kun. But I can hear a voice, a sobbing voice, an incredibly sad, almost shouting voice. Oh my god! Did my eyes get used to the darkness? Or did my will force my eyes to open? I finally grasped what it was this bastard was sitting on while he gave this long speech. Damn, you regenerated again? Roa's legs stop. He turns towards Senpai. Didn't I tell you to stay dead? You really are an eyesore. With a piercing sound, Roa takes one of Senpai's swords and thrusts it into her body. Her pain voice. Her nails dig into the tatami mat. Clawing and clawing. Her nails are almost peeled off, and her breathing is like a combusting engine. But still, Tohno-kun. Clawing and writhing, she frantically continues to call out my name as I lie there collapsed like a cut puppet. Annoying woman. Didn't I tell you, no matter how many times you call out his name, Shiki won't hear you? Right now, he's just a living corpse. He can only hear my voice. No, not even my voice. He knows my will only because of the connection of life between us. How can you not understand that fact? More piercing sounds. The swords pierce Senpai's body. Her body twitches in response. Even still, Senpai continues to call out my name, as if she was a broken record. Tohno-kun, Tohno-kun, Tohno-kun. With her pain-filled, sobbing voice. I could hear it. I definitely heard it from before, but I probably didn't listen to half of what she said. Even as she spat out blood, she kept calling out to me, who was just lying there like a thrown-away broken doll. An immortal body? How foolish. If you had this much power, you could have defeated me. The sound of stabbing again. But for such a guy, you lay down your swords. I'm disappointed, Alicia. Thinking a piece of trash like you is actually my daughter makes me sick. Thrust. 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 As if he's lost his mind, he keeps stabbing Senpai over and over again. Her defenseless back, her shoulders, her legs, her throat. Their bloody arms outstretched towards me, mercilessly stabbing. Despite this, her lips keep on calling my name. I can't hear it. I can't hear it anymore. It's not that my ears are no longer working, but her throat is already dead. But she still keeps calling out to me, as if she is wishing I'll be able to move if she continues on like that. To be honest, I don't understand why she would go that far. I'm almost going insane. Watching her be stabbed for my sake makes me almost insane. Up. But I don't move. No matter how frustrated I am, I can't move. No matter what I do, this body won't move. Wonderful. A simple hatred that is almost lethal. It was almost just an instant, but I felt your will directed against me. You may want to kill me, but this isn't something to be mad about. He pulls out a sword. Senpai's body sinks toward the floor. Before that can happen, he pulls her up by the hair.
Roa decides to showcase a difference between Ciel and vampires. For a vampire, their healing factor only really works while alive. At the moment of death, it's no longer applicable. However, Ciel's ability to heal herself is on a completely different level. He opts to showcase this by piercing different vital parts of her body. Each time she experiences death, her body is quickly brought back to normal, as if the world or time itself had reverted her body back to life. Roa continues with glee to inflict these deaths in front of Shiki, but once he's finished with his horrid showcase, he throws Ciel at the wall.
He swings his arm. As if she really was a piece of trash, Senpai's body slams into the wall. That was it. That's enough. I don't care what happens. I don't care if I go crazy. I don't care if people call me a murderer. See, I'm cute compared to her. This is a monster that comes back from nothing, even if you kill every last bit of her, every last cell of her. Is killing something that doesn't really die really a sin? A high, ill-sounding laugh. Roa throws the sword in his hand towards Senpai as if he was playing darts. Splud. That is the signal. With that, all rational thought splinters away. I stand up. Bastard, how can you move? There's no need to say it. The one with the stronger will uses the life, right? Then, up until now, I never thought this strongly about anything before. This can't be. Am I weaker than you? Roa, I'm going to kill you. In the darkness, my knife crosses against his claws. His movement is almost blindingly fast, but my body follows him. My arms move as if they belong to someone else. My eyes persistently, accurately look at just his lines. My entire body burns. My brain feels like it's on fire. Just like when I first saw the golden-haired princess of the vampires, my body is like something else. Roa springs away. One of his legs, his upper right arm, his left collarbone. I've already cut through the lines there. The price is my right arm. Roa first took my arm holding the knife, so if he destroys my remaining left arm, it would mean my loss. In this situation, losing means certain death. I don't believe it. A match for me, a vampire. Your eyes, they are perhaps more appropriate for me than this body. If you don't realize it, then that's fine. This story is a boring one, not even worth talking about. With a shuffle, Roa increases the distance between us. It's a very old story, the last of a fool who observed over living forever. Just wondering who it was that actually won that. To live forever. That was the miracle that Roa dreamed about. I decided that an everlasting cycle of rebirth is eternity, but that is no different than a continuation of a single bloodline. If there is such a thing as a power that Roa, who accepted death, can earn at the end of his reincarnation, instead of the power that steals the life of others like vampires, I just thought the power you have, the power to see death, was an appropriate end for me. His body lowers a bit. I just had that ridiculous idea. His arm reaches out. I slice through it instantaneously. Gah! Roa runs away. I follow after him. His movements are many times faster than mine, but that doesn't matter. Just killing. I don't care about anything else. In reality, I've already killed one of his legs, and his speed is reduced. As he runs away, he braces his hand against the wall and glares at me. Shit! Do you intend to fight yourself, Shiki? Don't be silent. You're me. I am Shiki, and you are Shiki. We are the same type of being. It doesn't matter if that bastard Roa existed or not. I was originally a creature, eating human flesh. As a child, I had this urge to eat human flesh, even though that has changed to drinking human blood. If Roa hadn't entered my body, I would certainly become a human-eating monster. But that's the same for you. Like I enjoy eating human flesh, you enjoy killing others. Remember the urge you had when you first saw that woman. The ecstasy of killing with that knife. The urge I had when I first saw her. That was when I killed Arkwood. Yeah, that's right. No matter how much you pretend to be a good person, that's something you cannot excuse. You wanted that woman and did the thing that got you the most excited. What can you call that other than being a killer? You and I are the same. We are both abnormal people living in the same place. Shut up. If I hear this voice any longer, I'll go crazy. Yes, the same. So why are you trying to kill me? It's just that Roa entered me. If Roa entered you instead, our positions would have been reversed. But you're going to kill me? You're just hurting yourself. Roa screams. These past 8 years, the monster who made his lair in the city, feeding off the blood of countless people, screams. I'm not you. You're just a killer. Idiot, you don't understand, do you? I thought so too at first. That I'm sane. That even if Roa's will is here, I thought it would be fine. But it wasn't. You're the same. You, like me, will end up as a killer, Tohno Shiki. He laughs. Isn't that right? I know that's inside of you too. You know, that impulse is not something that flows from me to you. Just admit it, killer. Your inversion impulse is nothing more than what you wish for. I ready my knife. I don't want to hear his voice any longer. I focus my gaze on him. All that's left is to slice him. I see. You're trying to kill me, Shiki. He pulls back. That's his final move. But don't you ever wonder which of us was really killed? Suddenly, I halt my attack. Yes, in the end, both of us died in that place. So, I might be the one killed by Roa, and you might be the Tohno Shiki taken over by the serpent, right? Hey, Shiki, didn't you ever think about it this way? That you just have not realized it, but you were already insane a long, long time ago. That can't be true, can it? Ha! I get kicked into the wall from behind. Gah! What is this? Being distracted by such stupid words. My remaining left arm becomes shredded and painted in blood. I can't move it one bit and my knife clatters to the floor. And in front of me, Roa stands with his furious, bloodshot eyes. Idiot. That's not it at all. I'm Roa. You had the inverse impulse because you were connected to me subconsciously. He grins. Roa takes a step forward. Bye, Shiki. It's been fun. With that, he swings his knife-like claws downward. There's no pain. Just the sound of splashing blood. You bitch! Roa's voice rings out. In front of me, Senpai's body takes the full force of Roa's claws. I can't think of anything. No, there's no need to think. I scoop up my fallen knife with my mouth. My teeth tighten around the hilt. I dash into Roa, almost like I was collapsing into him. I slice the line running diagonal from his shoulder.
Shiki's attack sends Roa into a pained panic, and he flees by jumping through a window. Though Shiki wants to give chase, he can't just jump out of a third-story window and be okay. However, he doesn't have to worry. Outside, under the moonlight, Roa is not alone.
Under the moonlight, Roa's running figure stops. There isn't one person outside, but two. One, the beast-like figure of Roa. One, the sublime white figure of the vampire princess. The fight lasted only an instant. Roa screams as he dies and fades to ash. Art quid. She stands there composed and looks up at me, then disappears before my eyes. I'm exhausted. My body collapses on the floor. Leaning against the wall, I sit down. Gah! The knife falls from my mouth. From my elbow down, my right arm is shattered, twisted and split. Roa's claw marks remain gouged into my shoulder. My left arm hangs unmoving. I feel like a squid or an octopus with both arms just hanging there. Senpai. I look down the hallway. I look down to where Senpai had collapsed when she protected me earlier. And there... Senpai. Your wounds are okay? Yes. A wound like this will heal quickly. I cannot make out her face since it's dark, but I thought it looked paler than usual. Gah! Thump. Headache. Thump. This headache. Thump. It's because I still see these lines. I have this headache. Tohno-kun, what's wrong? Nothing, it's just my head hurts. I manage to reply as I bear the pain. My hands, as if I could move them, I could hold my head and maybe calm down, but they don't move an inch. Probably because you saw too much death. Tohno-kun, you were pushing yourself too much. Trying to defeat Roa by yourself was being reckless. It's not reckless. You were the one being reckless. Why did you let him do that to you? He just caught me off guard. Idiot, I heard all of it. I heard how Senpai threw away her swords to protect me. Going through that just to protect me was stupid. Going through that and just calling out my name, there's something wrong. I suppose, no matter what I did, you revived by yourself. I guess I was just doing useless things. That's not it at all. But I heard you. Tohno-kun. Your voice. I know I heard it. You kept calling my name, so it made me realize that I was still alive. So, what saved me wasn't my desire to kill Roa, but it was just Senpai's voice. Tohno-kun! Your wounds, do they hurt? Please wait, I'll heal them. No, it's not really my arms. This headache is terrible. The pain isn't coming from outside, but feels like it's shooting out from inside me. It's a reaction from seeing too much death. Suddenly overworking your brain like that probably caused too much blood flow. I know that, but... Look, your power is very dangerous to you, Tohno-kun. Seeing that which you should not be possible to see puts a huge strain on the body, and the blood vessels will not be able to handle the flow of your blood. Seeing the death of something close to you, like humans shouldn't be a problem, but seeing the death of things that don't naturally have a death is extremely dangerous. Yeah, that's okay, Senpai. Roa is dead now. I don't have to see any more death. So I don't have to see them. Senpai, do you know where my glasses are? Huh? My glasses. Without them, I see the lines all the time. If I don't have them, I'll go crazy. They're probably in the tea ceremony room, so could you please get them for me? Tohno-kun, what are you saying? Your glasses are definitely... I understand. I'll go get them right away, so close your eyes. If you use them too much longer, you will really be bad for you. Yeah, I'll do that. Thanks. I close my eyelids. After only a few moments, I can feel Senpai's fingers on my face. Here you go. It's all right. It's okay now. Please open your eyes, Tohno-kun. Ah, the lines of death are now gone. My headache disappeared, and as I closed my eyes, and I can now see Senpai's face clearly. Thanks, Senpai. Now it's back to normal. What are you saying? There's still some work before you return to normal, so please keep still. She says that and sits down beside me. These wounds really aren't that bad. I'll be able to heal them right away, so please hold on just a little longer. Senpai carefully reaches out and holds my twisted arm. There's almost tickling warm sensation. My cold arm begins to warm up again, and the numb pain returns after that. Ow. If there's pain, it lets you know you're alive. Now let's take care of your left arm. With a light step, she moves over to my left side and puts her hand on my shoulder. Amazing. My left arm is already healed. It's amazing. This is my normal profession, so it's only natural I can do it. Oh, it isn't amazing. This is my natural profession, so it's only natural I can do that. Her normal profession? Is she a nurse or something? Well, I don't think a nurse could heal a shattered arm like that in a matter of minutes, though. Hey, Senpai. Yes? Senpai, just what kind of person are you? Come to think of it, I don't really know anything about you, Ciel Senpai. The fingers over my wounds suddenly stop, but it was only a momentary reaction. I'm the same as you, Tohno-kun. I also have not had this body from birth. I was also close to death. No. I am someone who died and came back to life. And it just became a habit for me to come back to life. Is she joking? She gives a pained smile. What do you mean? If you die, you normally can't come back, right? What I'm saying is that I was not normal. Not normal, like Arkwid? She doesn't respond. Is she done? Senpai stands up. There, all finished. How is it? Can you move? I lift my hands and move them around. My fingers can move at will, and there's only a little pain. Yeah, no problems. Thanks, Senpai. I'm just always helped by you. Senpai doesn't answer, she just smiles. Then let's go back. There's no need to be here any longer. Senpai starts to walk away. Picking up my fallen knife, I will follow her out of the school. Well, hopefully all that blood in the glass fixes itself.
They silently walk to the gate, the moon hovering over them. Shiki realizes that with Roa dead and Arkwid having left the scene, there's nothing keeping Ciel in the city anymore. Though he knew it was inevitable, he doesn't want her to leave. He wonders what she plans to do now, but as he looks at her, she stops walking.
Tohno-kun. She looks directly at me with eyes devoid of any emotion. What is it, Senpai? About what we were talking about before. Before, about how you're like Arkwid. She nods. Still staring me in the eye, she starts to speak. Tohno-kun, if I was a vampire, what would you do? What? My mind goes blank. I don't know what she wants to hear. Still, Senpai is Senpai. Even if you are a vampire, that wouldn't change. Her expression remains the same. Just for an instant, I think she smiled sadly. I am the same as her. Just like she is a vampire who had no experience, I just might be a vampire who has no sense of self. She speaks as if it was a monologue. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to say to that. So just like before, I can only say what I really feel. That's fine. Eh? I said that's fine. Even if you are a vampire, I still like you, Senpai. What? Senpai stands there in a complete amazement. Realizing what I just said, I blush furiously and look away. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Come on, let's go back, Senpai. Trying to hide my embarrassment, I pull myself to reality. Go back. Where is Senpai going to run to? I suddenly feel terrible. I'm afraid to look at her face and can't turn around. Tohno-kun. From behind me, Senpai's voice calls out. Her quiet, emotionless voice. What is it? I answer without turning. You know why I came to this city, right? Yeah. Unfortunately, I know. You came to kill Roa. Yes, but I haven't told you why yet. I mean, I really meant to tell you in the tea ceremony room, but things ended quickly. That's true. It was kind of disappointing. But wasn't you chasing Roa part of your duty in the church? No. The place I'm in doesn't really have much work. Even when there is, it's only a few times a year I get called there. So this time is my own judgment. Not because of the orders of the church, but I came here through my own will. Your will? Yes! I came here because of my own circumstances. I wanted to die as a human, so I've been chasing Roa. He is the reason my body has become like this. Wants to die. Wants to die? For the sole reason. For that sole reason, I have kept on living like this. But that is all over now. These past 5 years. Was it a long time? Was it a short time? I don't know. Her emotionless voice stops. She jumps directly in front of me. So I have to thank you, Tohno-kun. My work here is done now. All that's left is for me to take responsibility for all of my actions. Senpai, you mean... she's going to leave? Thank you so much for everything until now. It has been a long time since I've been this happy. So let's finish with a handshake. Senpai puts out her hand. I wordlessly accept it. A handshake where we only grip our hands tightly. Then this is where we part. Even though I'm not going to be here, please stay friends with Inui-kun. I want to be a student like you and Inui-kun. And please, don't take off your glasses too much. Strange power has a tendency to attract strange things. You were fine this time, but I do not know what will happen the next time. Yeah, I know. Someone taught me that a long time ago. In the first place, I've only recently begun taking them off with everything that has been happening. I see. That is a relief. Her fingers pull back. With the handshake over, she pulls back slightly. Then this is farewell. It would be nice to meet again someday. I can't reply. I couldn't even stop her. Give me your digits at least.
Arriving at the mansion at 9 p.m., Shiki is greeted by Kohaku, who happily says she'll make him some dinner and to wait in the sitting room. Before that, Shiki asks if Akiha is there, and she says that Akiha is in her room, so he doesn't have to worry. Though she says this either in reference to missing curfew or leaving before talking this morning, Shiki is uncomfortable talking with Akiha at the moment after all he's learned about the family today. He does ask Kohaku if she knew about them possibly having another brother. Kohaku replies that him and Akiha are the only ones, and that she's sure since she's worked here since she was a child. This information gives Shiki a slight shock, but she confirms that both her and Hisui were here as apprentices at the time. With this said, she heads to the sitting room, leaving Shiki more confused as to what Roa was talking about. But since he's dead, it doesn't matter, and Shiki heads to the sitting room. We then skip to after, with Shiki decompressing now that everything is over. He hopes he can forget about it all and reset back to his normal life, but he understands there's no way he can truly forget it all, especially his senpai, Ciel. He angrily tries to fall asleep in the hopes of maybe calming, but since sleep is often elusive to him, we jump in time where he still can't sleep. His chest seems to be bothering him as well, so he picks up a book with, quote, English sentences, unquote, in it, in the hopes of going to sleep.
I choose a book of English sentences to read so I can drift off to sleep. Like, the cat invades France. Is that the Arc de Triomphe? I was just kidding about the France stuff.
1976. I was born a child of a shopkeeper from a remote countryside village in France. I looked like my mother, who was Oriental, so I grew up feeling a little out of place wherever I went. But all the townspeople were great people and would greet me with bright smiles. To be able to face those smiles, I lived my days honestly and positively. Helping my dad, going to school, falling in love like normal. That was my life, and I never doubted my happiness. It was truly a very short time until my 16th birthday. That came suddenly to my body, such as when I would be playing with children. For no reason, I wanted to snap their necks. Such as when I saw a poor beggar by the road. It seemed so funny, I wanted to stab him with a knife. There was no reason for those feelings. I could not talk to anyone about it, so I started to lock myself away in my room. My dark passions came forth from within me. It's not like I had two personalities or someone came inside me. First of all, I don't believe in such unscientific things. My feelings are the small destructive passions everyone has, like yelling at your dad after he comes to wake you up after you stayed up all night. Like feeling angry when you walk along a rainy street and a car passing by splashes you with water. Such small feelings I feel for an instant solidify inside of my mind and take over. That's why I knew I would do something terrible if I stayed like this. I could only lock myself away in my room. I could only not see anyone and do nothing. That way, I wouldn't hate anyone and I wouldn't have those feelings. But that was a mistake. Imprisoned in my room, my mind was ground away, and I eventually passed my limit. That day, after I was completely replaced, what I thought about was how thirsty I was. I took my weakened body out of my room. My parents ran to me as I came out of my room for the first time in a few months. Greeting my worried parents with a smile, I killed them. It really was quick. With my weakened body, I bit into their necks and sucked their blood. After sucking out their blood and life, I stood back up. Has it been 100 years? This body is very fascinating. That was my voice that I had never heard before. My lips shaping a smile, what used to be me hugged itself. What kind of coincidence was it?
Our narrator changes to their new controller, Roa. This is Roa's most prior reincarnation. He says that this pick did not fulfill one of his two requirements for a body. This person was born to a normal family, not of any standing. However, the body was of high physical potential, with more magical circuits than any previous reincarnations. It's here that Roa realized the true importance of a good body over social standing, as that's something he could always plan for later. With this, we go on to learn the fate of this reincarnation. Myself that finally awoke naturally started to control the people around me like water soaking into the ground. Not in the wild manner I had done so previously, but rather in a way that didn't spill as much blood. The reason is horribly cruel. The reincarnated will called myself cannot exist by itself. All I can do is tell the will, I want to do that. I am the one moving this body, but the method, the process was determined by my mind, which has grown along with this body. In other words, my will is from the body I am reincarnated into, but my consciousness still remains from my original self. I have my consciousness, and I have my past memories. As I sleep, I could only dream of nightmares which I would do myself. I still remember the sensation of biting into my parents' throats. I took the townspeople who always greeted me, one by one. As if melting them slowly from their feet, I continued to humiliate and mutilate their souls. Within just a month, I held their lives in my fist and played with them however I wanted to. I wanted to go crazy. I wanted to entrust myself completely to insanity. But if I did that, I would commit even more sins than before. That's why I kept on. Trying to preserve my sanity, I tried to minimize the damage I did. If there was such a thing as a relief, it was that the end of this nightmare arrived quickly. That white woman came on a night with a crimson moon. I didn't know, but I knew who she was. After our fight, the white vampire princess killed me. Since I had already prepared myself for the next reincarnation, I once again reincarnated, leaving my corpse behind. The white princess left, and my body was taken to the Vatican. We close the chapter with the cycle repeating. Another reincarnation killed by Arcuid, but the reincarnation of Roa still continues. Though this is the end of this chapter, before we leave for today, I would like to leave you with my live thoughts on this story. I have a few theories about what that might be in reference to. Considering that we've mostly been hanging out with Ciel at this point, and a lot of the story stuff is with her, I'm wondering if that's what happened to her. Maybe she was initially a vessel that died, but when she got brought, maybe they got brought to the Vatican, and the church did something, and now she's immortal essentially, like a vampire, but not. That's just my theory. But for now, I'm gonna drop another save on top of the save I just saved. I'm gonna end it here. And I can tell you, I hate every single recording session I do of this game for the sole fact that I ended on another cliffhanger, and all I can think about is what's happening next. But that's a good thing. The story's been very engaging so far. So thank you so much for watching, and next time we will take on Chapter 10. Have a good day.